And it says we're live. Okay. Go over here and double check. I didn't see anybody live at the moment, which is odd for a Saturday night. There's usually somebody. Oh my.
Trapped and surrounded behind enemy lines, Rudy called for his squadron help, led by the sound.
What's up? There's 2 people, 4 people. I don't know who you are. You know, usually there's a lot of people live on Saturday night, especially at this time, and I'm like the afternoon guy. I always do it in the afternoon. Very rarely have I done anything at night. At night? Okay, it's working. Dwight, what's up, Dwight? We were watching Guitar Meets Science earlier. Hey, Rocker Pat. I like that old Bel Air. Of course, it looks like you got a Corvette you're working on, too. Notification, Trogley Guitar Show. I've gotten bored with that guy. This is Sunday. Yeah, I guess you're right. Well, you know what? Hey, Janice, how you doing? You're right. It's Sunday. Well, there's usually people live on Sunday night, too, so I'm not going to go in and edit that. I can't do it right now. Pop out chat, toggle timestamp. Expendable Pond, what's up? Blue, playing some blues. Hey, you got to make a video to that backing track. Spike actually caught the beginning. How you doing, man? I went to set OBS up on this computer, and it didn't have some drivers. And so I didn't. Daniel Horsley, how you doing? So I didn't load it onto this one, and I fired up my old laptop and went to install OBS, and it did the same thing, and it wanted to install those drivers. So I went ahead and said, go ahead. Well, it did it successfully, and it works on the laptop. So sometime this week, I'll install OBS onto my desktop, but I've got OBS installed on my new computer, and I was going to bring it in here and stream from that, but I have no place to put it. I'm not going to show you my desk, but there's no room on the desk for it unless I move a computer, which I didn't feel like doing. And I could have streamed from the living room, but then I bother Linda because she's in there reading and watching a movie. For your information, do not get a Marshall code. I like Marshall, but the code has issues. Uh-oh. What's the issue? And what is the code? Is that a head, or is that like a combo, or is that their new Marshall's Line 6. Well, it seems they've all got to have a modeling type thing with all kinds of modeling and effects set up on it. And I like to have a modeling amp like that. Like I had a Spider 3, a 30 watt Line 6 Spider 3. And I didn't like the amp models, but I liked some of the effects. And if you just ran it through the clean channel, it took pedals pretty good. You know, I had a Celestion speaker in it, and it was a 30 watt amp and, you know, nice and light. But I saw that that old PV Bandit Solo 65 in that pawn shop, and I just had to trade. I had to make the trade. I wanted that old Bandit, man. That thing will blow your head off if you crank it up. And I've got the little Vox DA5 that, like, I was just playing through, that I got hooked up, that has all the effects and the different amps on it, you know, different sounds, you know, like blues and clean and crunch and high gain and drive, and has all that. And as long as I have one little one to do that with at home with, you know, to practice, very rarely use modeling on a gig. You know, I'm going to use an amp and pedals. And I've got, you know, like 4 different pedal boards. I've got my main one, a backup one, then my new little one that I built, that I just got that Behringer vintage delay. And, you know, for $30, that's a decent delay. And I was looking at TC Electronics and MXR and all the other ones and the mini pedals, and they were all over $100. They were like 130, 140, 150. There were some really outrageous price delays that I can't justify it. You know, I can justify, I can spend $30, but I can't spend that kind of money on just a delay pedal, another delay pedal. I've got something here. Tell me it's plugged in. Oh, God. I literally bought this in the mid-'80s. This is a DOD analog delay. I'm going to say it's called the 650. The name, the model name is actually wore off. This still works. This used to be my main guitar delay, and it's got local and remote. It's stereo, remote mix, local mix, speed, and repeat and delay time. And this thing is a beast. This thing is an absolute beast. And that skull sticker's been on there probably 1989 or 1990. And this is an amazing delay, but you can see it's a big footprint, and it requires AC power. And I originally bought this for my first PA system that didn't have any delay. All it had was reverb, and we wanted some delay on the vocal. And I bought that at Erie World of Music in Erie, Pennsylvania. And back in the mid 80s, that thing was like $150. So it was a lot of money back then. That was a lot of money back then. We had bought a used custom PA system for like $250 for the whole PA. And it was like a 6-channel head and 2 column speakers with the horn in the top, or the piezo bank in the top, I think. I can't remember. And then an array of like, I don't know how many, like 8-inch speakers or maybe 10-inch speakers in each column. And the columns weren't huge. They were about this wide and about that tall, less than 4, maybe 4 feet tall, if that. And that was our PA. And I bought that delay. And there was no effects loop on it. So I had to have an adapter for the microphone, and we could only put delay on one mic, right? So the lead vocalist got delay, and then everybody else got, which was me, and then everybody else got reverb. My Line 6 Spider amp was probably close to 10 years old. 2000. What's 2020? I probably bought that in 2011 or 2012, somewhere around there. So it was close to that. Prince Vince, Fire Hazard. No, it ain't. It still works. Though you might be right. Fire Hazard. Come on. Ain't no fire hazard. I'll tell you, it's got some wicked delay sounds. This probably bad idea. There happens to be a cord right there. I'll go through local out. This will just take a second to hook up here. Input. Plug that. Watch me get the crap shocked out of me or something. See, the inputs are old. I used to do this on stage. That's just with one channel of it going. Here's the slowest delay it's got. robot sounding. That's an old DOD delay. And I've used it for put it through the effects loop of a mixing board before to get, use it as a delay. Loud cars and loud guitars. That's what it's about. Run out of places to set stuff after a while. Looks like you got a ways to go on that Bel Air, Pat. It's going to be an awesome car, though. When you're done, you're going to chop the top. You're going to have a chopped top on it. I couldn't tell if there was any glass. I wasn't paying attention if there was any glass in the front and back windshield of that Bel Air. Yeah, no matter how big your cave is, it's too small. My garage used to be our practice place, and there's no room in there now for that. If I'd get half the stuff that need installed in this house, which is going to happen because we're getting new carpet Tuesday. So after that, I'm going to have to get some things done. I've got all new doors, interior doors for the whole house. There's like 11 of them out there. That means staining and sanding and staining and mortising hinges and drilling out lock sets, and a lot of work. But I don't have any way to check. Well, yeah, I do. See who I'm in competition with right now. If anybody else went live. No chop top. Won't chop it. The rear glass is on a shelf while I repair the sheet metal. Don't want to crack the rear glass. Yeah. That might be hard to find a replacement if you broke it. For what year is that? Did you say a 57 or 54 or 55, something like that? I'd imagine every rear and front windshield, 54 two-door hardtop. I imagine a 1954 Bel Air, any windshield available out there is already installed in a car that they don't want to take the windshield out. My one cousin, first cousin, he's passed away now though, but yeah, he died in a car wreck. He died in a Dodge Super Bee. But his very first car was a 50-something Bel Air that my aunt, who my uncle was my dad's brother, that was his dad. His aunt, his mother, her father had given him the car. And I remember that was in the early 60s. I mean, I was 5, 6 years old, 6, 7 years old. And it was still, a 1950 something, and it was 1965 or 66. It was still a nice car. It was still, pretty nice. Nickel and dime you out of $35K. Yeah. Yeah, but once it's all finished, what's something like that worth, whatever, somebody will pay for it, and some people will go pretty high. That's funny because when I was a little kid, the first car I ever remember was a 49 coupe. A 49 Ford Coupe is what my parents had. And there were three of us kids, and my brother used to pull the seat down in the back, and I would crawl into the trunk. And I remember my mother yelling at him when he would do that. And he wanted to get me out of the back seat with him and my sister. Not what you have in it. Wow. Then I guess it's a keeper. So did you ever, I always played the solo on the outro of that song from and I just did. Stuff like that, man, just pentatonic. Just now, I would probably go. What music does who mostly play? I do classic rock, country, and oldies. We do everything from, right now we're doing this song. Mother, I don't want to take my medicine. 24 years in the gutter again, and I'm losing it. Sawed-Off Shotgun by the Glorious Sons. We do everything from that to You're Just Too Good to Be True. Can't take my eyes off of you. I don't want to play too many songs and get a copyright claim and have to give anybody the 7 cents that I might make on a live stream. I hate that. I hate it. We do a lot. My band does a lot of country, and no specific country either, because we do like a Clint Black song, we do Toby Keith song, we do a couple Dwight Yoakam. We do a Dwight Yoakam song. We do. I can't think of what other country do, and then we do a lot of old songs. Then it's a lot of classic rock. And the classic rock is getting kind of sketchy. The Bad Company. We dropped the ZZ Top. We dropped the Leonard Skinner. We dropped, I still do Sultans of Swing, still Stray Cat Strut, Rock This Town, Lay Down Sally, I Shot the Sheriff. We do some Blue Oyster Cult. We do Burning for You, and we do ETI. Stuff like that. And I don't have a list available. It's hard for me to think of everything that we do. What's this? Is this lyrics or is this a list? Oh, Sitting, Waiting, Wishing. That's lyrics. Jack Johnson. That's something I used to do on the acoustic. You guys are all younger than me, most of you, for the most part. So you guys are all, most of the people that I run into on YouTube, they're either into 80s hair bands or heavy metal of some type from some era. So you'll get the guys that are really in the 80s stuff. Van Halen, and then bands like Poison and Judas Priest, and then you'll get the guys that are into the heavy metal, like they're into Metallica and Dave Mustaine's band. What's the name of Dave Mustaine? Megadeth. Megadeth. Into what was Dimebag Darrell's band's name? Anthrax. Were they Anthrax? What band was Dimebag in? Somebody tell me. Somebody let me know in the chat there what band Dimebag was in. It was Anthrax, right? Pantera. Thank you. Into that kind of stuff. And I'm more of a blues player. Blues, rock, and country. I was born in 1959, so vocal groups are real important to me. The way bands did it in the 60s, where there was a lot of vocal harmony and everything depended on the vocals, and you had to have, the guitars were guitar soloing was not the main focus. That didn't come into play until the 70s. Then in the 70s, guitar came in and became a main focus of the music. I saw Van Halen open for Black Sabbath in 1981 or 82. Might have been 1980 in Erie, Pennsylvania. And Eddie Van Halen played Eruption, and I argued with my buddies for 2 or 3 days that there was no way he played that all by himself. There was somebody behind the curtain playing with him, or he was playing along to something recorded or something. But I had every argument in the world, and then come to find out I was wrong. And I also said Van Halen would not ever really amount to much. And I was wrong again. So I got 10 years on you, Dwight. That's not that much. Yeah, and then you turn around and saw Black Sabbath open for Judas Priest. That's the way that ended up. You got to remember, though, Judas Priest was one of the biggest hard rock metal acts ever. I mean, Judas Priest was, they were the top of the heat there for a while. And then in the 80s, all the bands that I played in, they were doing stuff like Huey Lewis and the News, tons of Bob Seger, tons of Bruce Springsteen. That Born in the USA album come out, and I swear we did every song on that record. And we did every Huey Lewis tune that we could do. We did every Bob Seger tune that we could do. We did, there were staples of stuff that we did. That it was, and we usually tried to have a saxophone player too, so that we could play some of that stuff that had saxophone in it. Songs like Careless Whisper. We had, we got ourselves a piano player so that we could do Sister Christian. Yeah, I've already been corrected on that, Dan. Thanks for bringing it up. It was done intentionally. I did it intentionally. Sorry you had to play Springsteen. Sorry you can't spell Springsteen. You don't have to retract that. You can leave that in there. I don't care. There's probably not a Springsteen song that I would intentionally do now. Although I always wanted to do Born to Run. We never did Born to Run. And I actually started working on it one day and said, this song's not that tough. And then after about a half an hour, I said, you know what? Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to care. We had a couple people that were really good singers. We had this one guy named Dan, and then sometimes we'd get girl singers. Yeah, we had some good singers. But usually when it was just like me and one of my buddies or whatever singing, we were doing the Springsteen and the Huey Lewis and anything like that, Bob Seger that we could pull off, anything that we could pull off. And Dwight Yoakam. I always liked Dwight Yoakam. He has such a typically country voice. I mean, you can't sing like him. I can kind of do Willie. On the road again. I just can't wait to get on the road again. What I love is making music with my friends. I can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again. But Willie doesn't sing anymore. He goes, on the road again. I just can't wait to get on the road again. He doesn't sing it anymore. He talks it. Of course, he's 90 years old. Or close. A light show for a country band. That's almost an oxymoron. Han Solo, I saw that somewhere that he actually what the thing was, Willie gives up weed was the headline that grabbed me on the story. Willie gives up weed. And yeah, it said he's on the edibles now. Wow. That's amazing. I try to check out as many of you guys as I can. And I try to sub to you too. I do look, and thanks to the guys that have subbed in the last couple days. I don't know if any of you are in here. Rocker Pat, I think he subbed me recently. And a few other people. But I try to check out your stuff, and then I see you guys in other live streams, and that's how we were earlier in Science Meets Guitar in his live stream. And I've seen some of you guys in Dave Levine's live stream, and Johnny Bean, of course. See you guys over there. there are a lot of guys I won't go in their live streams anymore because it's too nauseating. Yeah, Dwight, I know. Let me go to YouTube Studio. Oh, whoa. What's up with that? It had looked like I had just gotten another sub, but maybe not. Maybe not. Let's just go to my channel. I'm sick of the pretentious joke. Which joke is that? Pretentious. Who did? Pat Travers closed every... Oh, the country band. Snorting whiskey and drinking cocaine? Yeah, Dan, right. Exactly what I'm talking about. And, they're not necessarily like really big, huge channels or anything, but he did driving a car singing Shotgun song. Your Les Paul worship is boring and pretentious. Tough shit. I like Les Pauls too, but my MLK decorations up yet. Yeah. Oh, wait. That might have been a bad joke. That might have been a bad joke right there, Evil. I do got my dash cam, though, Evil. My handy dandy dash cam. My black webs. So it's politically correct. The thing is about that, Gibson has been getting bashed hard for a couple of years about, their quality control issues and everything else. And it just seemed like people were going out, and just every time you turned around, there was a new Les Paul on their channel that they were showing and telling about how great it was, and almost hardly ever freaking playing anything. And not all of them, but some of them, and just the fake, the fake fakiness. And when somebody is like overly nice, fake nice, and they're putting on that fake smile and, hi, I'm so and so, and it's gaggy, man. It gags me, and I know right away they're either shilling for somebody or they're dishonest, and they're never gonna let you know that they had a bad day, and that they're only there, for one reason. And I was on YouTube for 4 or 5 years before I knew there was a partner program. And then I got in the partner program, and I was in the partner program for a year, and I didn't fill out the stuff right. So I hit the threshold of $100, and I went, I made $100. It took a year, but I made $100. And nothing happens. For a couple months, nothing happens. And I'm talking to another guy, and he goes, you got to have it connected to your Google AdSense. And I go, what? What's that? And he showed me that, and I was like, so I fill all that out, and I message YouTube and tell them, hey, I screwed up and didn't have this activated or connected to anything. But I hit that threshold of $100. Can I get that $100? And they were like, no. You weren't officially in the partner program up until you finally did this. So I finally did that. And so for a little while, I was in the partner program. And then in 2016, what was it? February 2017, they say, if you don't have 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours, you're out. Well, I had the watch hours because I had like almost 1,000 videos at the time, probably 800-900 videos. And I had the watch time, but I didn't have the subscribers. So when the deadline came, I was a couple hundred subs short, and I just had to wait until I got to the 1,000, and then it reactivated, and it's like, yeah, you get a little bit here and there. Like I was surprised. The video that Linda and I did yesterday has actually made 30 cents on that video that we did yesterday, the blues video, the Texas blues video. It's actually accumulated 30 cents. Hey, Tim, what's up? So, Evil, have you taken any good video Walmart trips or anything with your new dash cam yet? Have you put it in that Dodge and gone dodging around? But anyway, you guys, you need to talk more because I'm running out of shit to say. Oh man, you just got your power back. I'm going to look at the radar right this very moment as we speak. I'm going to look at the radar. We're not supposed to get any snow. We're not supposed to get anything. Yeah, there's nothing. The top, Michigan's getting it. They're getting a bunch of rain in North Carolina and South Carolina. And that's South Carolina. Okay. South Carolina and Georgia. But Ohio, Pennsylvania, Indiana, West Virginia, Tennessee, Kentucky, nothing. North Carolina, nothing. New York, nothing. I need an inexpensive reverb. My new Marshall Origin head has no reverb. Why would they make a lead head without reverb? You know that TC Electronics, is that the one that has the Hall of Fame? Those are nice reverbs, but I was looking at them again and they're $100. You have to look at Behringer. We go to Musician's Friend. That's something you might want to consider looking on eBay for for something used. Let me enter a search. Reverb pedal. Fender used to have an old reverb tank that was awesome. Do you know that? The reverb unit from Fender that looked like a guitar head? Wampler Reflection, 199. TC Electronics Hall of Fame, 148. Electro-Harmonix Oceans 11, 151. Keeley Caverns, 179. TC Electronic Drip Spring Reverb, $49. There you go. TC Electronics Drip Spring Reverb, $49. TC Electronics Fluorescent Reverb Effects, $49. Seymour Duncan Dark Sun Mark Holcomb Signature Digital, $369. God. Wampler Mini Faux Spring Reverb Effects, $149. Yep. That's the one for me. TC Electronics Fluorescent Reverb. It's got reverb, mix, tone, and shimmer. Then the other cheap one that was $49, the TC Electronics Drip Spring Reverb, has dwell, tone, and mix. So the drip, TC Electronics, Drip Spring, and Fluorescent Reverb pedal, for $50, you can get a new pedal. Hey, Dwight. Yeah, I haven't played in it in a while, but I do love that amp. I used to play it all the time, and I've said this before. I bought that, and I bought Linda a Micro VR Ampeg, which is a 210, a mini 210 SVT cabinet thing. It mocks that big 8 concert 8 that's 5 feet tall. SVT, it's called the VR. It's a 210 cabinet, and it has the Micro VR 250 watt head that looks like the old SVT head, but it's all solid state, so that it looked old school with a Marshall stack and then that Micro VR. And I might set that up here and get it out front so I can have the SVT and the Micro VR and play some rock through it, because it actually was a really cool idea, and we did it for a while. But the problem was with that, that's 3 pieces. You got to carry in 2 speaker cabinets and a head. Then with hers, you had to carry in a speaker cabinet and a head. And we just, for simplicity of loading and getting in and out, we went to combos. We went back to combos. But it was a really great idea having that Marshall Mini and that Micro VT. It looked awesome on a stage. People walk in and they'd kind of laugh and knew right away what I was going for. They go, "Wow, man, you guys look like Rush or Led Zeppelin." Seymour dunking into your wallet. Yeah, $369 for a signature reverb. Give me a break. And if you're handy electronically, you can grab an old spring reverb out of a old amp and put it in an enclosure. And if you know how to wire it and will know what to add to it and get it working, maybe ask Brad, the guitarologist. I'm sure a bunch of you guys would know how to make a reverb tank. If you got, you just got to run the signal through it, right? Could you put it in the effects loop? I think I got an old reverb tank out in the garage. I might try to figure out how to do that. The Lead 12. I don't know what you're talking about, Dan. Is that mini the Lead 12? No, it's the FX, MG FX. So it's got the effects. It's got 2 channels, clean and lead with 2 stages in each channel. Okay, so starting from 1 to 4 just adds more gain through each stage. And the clean channel, when you just dime the thing out, the clean channel is pretty damn crunchy. It's a cool little amp. It's only 15 watts. You have to mic it. You almost have to mic it unless you're playing someplace that's really small. I might have been better with the Mini Lead 12. I don't know. Some people don't like the MG FX series, and then other guys do. I've never had a complaint with it. The only thing was it was another $69 for it was called the Stompworks control pedal that has all the buttons on it for the channels, and it's got a tap thing for the delay and the reverb settings and the flange, and of course you can tap it with your foot to get it how you want it, which is kind of not all that convenient. And a tuner. And the tuner's kind of iffy. You can tune up with it and not maybe totally exactly be right in tune, because it's like not in tune, in tune. That's it. There's no easing up into it, or it's yeah, it's all solid state. This is all solid state. The only 2 amps I got right now are the Blues Junior, the DeVille, and that red one down there has a tube preamp section, and that's called Guitar Research. That was made by Schecter, and that's a really good sounding amp. But for the most part, I use the Blues Junior, and if I'm not using the Blues Junior, I'll actually gig with that right there. Oh no, the other tube amp I got is right there. I've got the PV Windsor Studio Combo, 40-watt Studio Combo. That's all tube. Now that Mini, let's see. Let me go back to it. Marshall. Oh, excuse me. MGFX. Mini stack. Watch, it's not available. Nope. All they got is a little micro stack for $69, which is a little battery powered clip on your belt thing. The MGFX. Let me just go Marshall Mini Stack and see what I get. They may have discontinued this at Musician's Friend. Yeah, they've discontinued it. Yeah. I think it was around $350. It was around $350. Because it was like half the price that there's a Marshall MG Zakk Wylde Mini Stack for $350 on Reverb, yeah. And the Marshall was almost exactly half the price of what the Mini Ampeg was. The Mini Ampeg was $650, something like that. It was $300 and something for the head and $300 for the cabinet. And then later on, I saw them selling the cabinets for like $250. You could order just the cabinet by itself or just the head. But when I bought it, I was into it for $600. So I had close to $1,000 in those 2 amps for me and her playthrough. And we didn't use them that long. We used them for about 6 months. Metalhead hippie, gotta roll. Peace, people. Well, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, Vince, I bet the Sovtech wasn't solid state, though, was it? I bet the Sovtech was a tube amp. I remember there was a music store closing here locally, and he only had a couple amps left in there. And one of them was a Sovtech that was equivalent to a Marshall half stack, 100 watts. And I made the guy several offers on it, and he wouldn't take it. And they ended up closing down. The shit went to auction. And I know he probably was thinking, I wish I would have took his offer on that, because that Marshall Mini stack, what I used on all my videos, $199. Yeah. Yeah, it is a lot for 15 watts. Because the Marshall MGFX combo you can't even get the MG series anymore. They're done with that. You can get an MG30 for $299. It's 30 watts, and that's a combo. They're not even, Musician's Friend isn't even showing the 15. And then I see they got the foot pedal here for the Code. You know, I forgot. Basically, the Marshall MG, that was Marshall's first attempt at the Line 6 Spider deal with the effects and the built-in amp models. So, I was sitting right in front of me. I forgot all about it. What is Class 5? It's like that PV Windsor, that's like one stage amp. What is Class 5, Dan? Because, you know, a lot of stuff now, like powered PA speakers, are Class D amplifiers, where the old solid state stuff was AB, and it was a lot louder. Class A 5 watt. Okay. Oh, yeah, those are expensive as hell. Class A, even a 1 watt is expensive as hell. Yeah. Stuff's not cheap. You know, even the cheap stuff isn't cheap anymore. I've never had expensive gear. I've never had expensive guitars. I've never had really expensive amps. One time in the mid 80s, I bought for $300, I bought a Marshall head from a guy and hooked it into a PV cabinet. And within a couple months, the head fucked up and quit working, and I couldn't find anybody to work on it. And I ended up selling it to somebody for $100. So I didn't have any luck with it. And I just had an old beat up head, you know, a 100-watt super lead head. And I probably should have kept it, because it was just for what it is, would have been worth a fortune now. But it was a late 70s, early 80s head, probably. I remember in 1980 or 81, the kid I was playing with went and spent almost $1,000 on this Marshall 212 combo amp that drowned it out the band. It absolutely drowned it out the band. And it was amazing. I had a good head at the time. I had a 130 watt PV head, but I didn't have speakers for shit. I had a homemade built Radio Shack speaker cabinet that me and my dad built. We didn't know anything about ohms or anything, you know. We just took the speakers up. They worked. Yeah, we had it hooked up at 8 ohms, and the amp actually worked at its best at 4. 8 was fine. It's just it wasn't as efficient at 8 as it was at 4. But we didn't know anything about that. We didn't know nothing about that. $750 for an Origin 20 watt head with a matching 212 slant cab. Yep. I've heard a lot of people really like those blues breakers, the Fender Blues Breaker. They really like them. So, yeah, that's cool. Marshall Origin. Marshall Origin. Marshall Origin 50C 50 watt 1x12 tube guitar combo $699. Marshall Origin 20 watt tube guitar amp head $499. Marshall Origin 412A 240 watt 4x12 speaker cabinet $399. Marshall Origin 5C 5 watt 1x8 tube guitar combo amp $316. $20 watt tube heads $449. Oh, the bass breaker, blues breaker. Okay, blues breaker. Right. Okay. Yep, and the cab's $299. Okay. Yeah, the bass breaker is the Fender. That's right. Yeah, the Marshall Blues Breaker, that's something real old, isn't it? Yeah, they don't have anything like that. All it shows is Hal Leonard, Blues Breaker, John Mayall with Eric Clapton. It's a book. Yeah. All right, guys, it's been an hour. It's 11:30 where I'm at, so I appreciate everybody jumping in. I appreciate everybody that's subbed me lately, everybody that's hanging out. Wow, 6 thumbs down. Butthurt. All right. Good night, guys. Enjoy your week coming up. I know Mondays suck, but make the best of it. Later. Yes, Evil. Today is Sunday. I know. That's why I got the thumbs down, because they can't handle me calling it Saturday. Take care, Spike.